again, this is Jeff Scott of Blackhawk Technical College again, attempting to tape the lecture for Chapter 4 for the 152-158 Advanced Website Development Joomla class. I'm on page 67. We're talking about building or creating a website in an hour. What we want to do in here is we want to remove the Joomla sampler data, customize the site template, add a framework for articles, add new features such as a contact form and a message block, and finish. So ideally we want to get something that looks like this when we're done. All right. I did finally get an email back from Pact Publishing saying that there was no source code for this book, which I really have a hard time believing. So I'm trying to contact the author directly and see if I can get the code. Why? So we can have the same pictures that the author has here. So if one of your desires is to try to make your site look like the one that's in the book, you'll be able to do so. So first thing they want us to do is to remove the sample data, and the author mentions that there is no simple uninstall sample data button here. So what they're going to do is they're going to remove it. Okay, so I've already gone through and done this. All right, in other words, I've navigated over to Content Article Manager. So let me get back over there. Okay, so I went to Content Article Manager, and under Content Article Manager, I'm on the bottom of page 70. I went and chose all in here, and I chose trash, and I trashed all of them. All right. Okay. So I've gone through and done that. Now, then we're supposed to go to Content Category Manager. Starting on the bottom of page 71, it says make sure all categories are displayed. So again, all categories are displayed. Select all. Okay. It says tick the top one and deselect just one category, and that would be uncategorized. All right. So as I work my way through here, I want to find uncategorized. That one I don't want to have checked. All right. Everything else is, and I'm going to throw it in the trash. Okay. So that's done also. So I've got those done. All right. Next, they tell you that starting on page 54, well, they tell you to back and take a look and see what it looks like now. So I gotta go here. All right. And it says it should look like this. Well, mine doesn't look right because as far as I can tell, those articles are still in there, so we've got to go back again. Not a problem. We'll do that. All right. So again, we were just told to go in Content Category Manager. All right, notice that my categories are gone. All right. Maybe it's because I didn't remove all my trash stuff. So let's see if we empty the trash now. If that, I want to remove everything. So let's empty the trash. It says they still have articles assigned to the categories. All right, so go back and do it the way that we did it before. So the problem is when I did this earlier, I didn't remove the trash first. So let's go back again. Not a problem. All right, so I'm going to go back again into again, you can see the problems I'm still having here. So I'm going to go back into the admin. All right, Content Article Manager. All right, it says there's no matching results. Categories. Again, I want to select all those, but I want to unclick. Now I'm looking in there and I don't see uncategorized, which isn't good, but let's see. If I go back, there we go. That's what it's supposed to look like. All right, sorry about that. So I'm on page 72. And then they tell you to delete the menus in the other modules, and we go back on to page 73. All right, so if you are following along, good luck. But, so my screen now looks like the one that you see here. If you don't believe me, there we go. Okay? All right. So, then on page 73, they tell us to delete the menus in the other modules. So they say here, and I'm on pages 73 and 74, to go to Menus, Menu Manager, select the 3 example menus we won't need, those being About Joomla, Australian Parks and Fruit Shop, but leave the main menu, top, and user menu. Click on the delete, and do the same kind of thing. All right. So let me jump back over here. So again, I'm following the steps on page 73. I'm going to Menus, Menu Manager, and I'm going to select the 3 menus I don't need anymore, those being About Joomla, Australian Parks, and the Fruit Shop. It says do not select the main menu, the top, and the user menu. So you can see that those are still there. So, I should be able to, got those, all right. It says, although we'll keep the main menu, we don't need the redundant links it contains. The only link we'll need is the home link that's necessary for the Joomla site to function properly. It says, you know the drill by now. Okay, navigate to Menus, Main Menu. And under the main menu, select all the items except for home. So everything that's in here except for home. All right, so I can click it all and then deselect home. All right. Click on the trash to delete. Do my select status and go down to trashed. Select all of it and empty the trash. Now, ideally, when we get done, we're going to be at pretty much a blank screen now. All right, so I think mine pretty much looks the same way that you see it on page 75 in the book. So there it is here, and if I go back into the book, onto page 75, there you see it also. Okay? All right, so they mentioned starting on the bottom of page 75 that building this site consists of 3 steps: customizing the layout, adding content, and adding extras. So we're going to go through that right now. All right. Again, I'm just going to jump through the same steps that they have here. Starting, I'm on page 76, time for action, creating a copy of the current menu, of the current template rather. So I'm going to do all the steps that they show right here. All right. So let me jump back into the administrator, and again, I'm just following the steps. To create a copy, go to Extensions, Template Manager. Click Templates in the submenu on the left-hand side. In the Template Manager's template screen, click the link to ProStar Details and Files. It says you're taken to the Template Manager Customized Template screen. All right. It says click on the Copy button. And they ask for a new name, and they tell us to call this ProStar _ copy. All right. As it says there, you can only use letters, numbers, dashes, and underscores as far as the names. The key thing there is you can't use blank spaces. Click Copy Template in the pop-up screen. The pop-up closes. Now click Close to return to the template screen. Finally, it says switch to the Template Manager Styles. And under the template manager styles, right now our template is still the ProStar, which is the default. We want to change that by making the ProStar copy our default. So we just click right now on what's the white star, and then the white star will become orange. And as you can see, it is now our default. So they mention exactly what just happened in here in your book on the bottom of page 76 in the book. You just used Joomla's built-in template copying machine to create an exact copy of the template you want to use and change. Now you can leave the original untouched, which can come in handy should you wish to return to its default settings. Also, you can change the settings of the copy template and not worrying about overwriting the original. Alright, so now they say it's time to customize the copy a little. After all, we want to design, don't want it to look like a Joomla site. We'll make our mark by creating a new logo image and add it to the template. Now, what I did, and I'm showing this to you right now, and I haven't tried this part of it yet, so it's going to be interesting to see if I have any problems with it. But over here, I'm going to grab a couple things here and copy them to my desktop. I went into Pixlr and I created this. It's not great, but it's my Corba logo. Looks a little bit like the one that you see that's on page 77 in your book, but I used Pixlr, which they mentioned in your book, on page 80. Alright. Now, a couple people had asked, they said, well, if you're going to do that, can you show us the steps? What I did was I literally went out to this site, and I'm going to save this, but it's called Let's Make a Simple Logo. It says Pixlr is a great online software. It's very simple alternative to Photoshop, but it's free. Then as they tell you what you can do there is you can go into create a simple logo. So I went right here into the editor as they asked. I clicked on create a new image. I set the width to 270 and the height to 90 as they showed in the book. I clicked transparent. I clicked OK. I clicked in the type tool, and in the text box I put Corba. Alright, I played with the fonts a little bit, and I went in there and I clicked on the different styles and played a little bit with drop shadows. I didn't do any of this stuff that they mentioned right here. I did a file save, saved it as a ping to my computer. So that's where I got it from. Again, it's from letsbuildawebsite.com.au/make-a-simple-logo. And I'll put this out there along with my logo. Alright, what I'm going to try now, and we're going to see whether or not it works, but I'm going to right mouse click on this, choose copy. I'm going to go over to my C drive, XAMPP, htdocs, find my Joomla. Oh, I'm sorry, I got to go back again. Did I? Yes, I did. Okie doke. Copied it to the wrong place. So let me recopy that because I copied it to my regular desktop and not to the virtual desktop. So let me grab that. Copy. And I want that under my C drive, XAMPP, htdocs, Joomla. There's images. I'm going to just try to drop it right in here, right under my images, and I'm going to paste it in. So there's my Corba, the one that I just showed you. Again, it's not identical to the one in the book. At least it looks similar. All right. So I've got that. So now they tell you to create the new logo image. So all the stuff that's in your book on page 77, I've basically done the steps 1 through 5. So I'm on page 78. Alright, so now they tell you to go in on the back end of the Joomla site. So I've got to go back, whoops, sorry. I've got to go back into Joomla. Accidentally clicked the wrong button here. How can I tell you it was a holiday for all of us? Alright, so I'm back into here. And it says in the back end, you can now activate the new logo. So go to Extensions, Template Manager, which is kind of where I am already anyway. All right. It says the default is called ProStar Copy. Click on the default link. Click the Options tag. All right, it was the Advanced tag, but it says current or default template. Yeah, it says you'll see a logo option. And there it is right there. All right. Click select and a pop-up window will come up. as you probably guessed, it's asking where I want to get it from, etc. Okay? So notice there's corba.ping, so that looks good at least. All right, so I see that. So I'm going to select that. All right, and once I get in there, I'm going to click Start Upload, as they tell you to do. All right, it says the upload complete. Now it says unable to upload. Ah, boy. Try to browse this way and see if I can grab it from here, but we'll see how this works. This file already exists, so it's telling me that it's in there. All right. But it's unable to upload the file. Hoping it's because it's already in there, but we're going to see. Right. It says the file should automatically appear here in the image URL, and it's not. Okay, it looks like it's right there at least. Look at the eye though, which is supposed to show me the image. It's not, which isn't a good sign. But we're going to try this anyway. Title, enter Corba. Alright, under the description, enter collectors of really bad art. Alright, click Save and Close. Go back and view the site, and we'll see how that works. It gave me Corba and it gave me collectors of really bad, but it does not like what I put in here. So for now, I'm just going to go on. All right, I'll try to go back and do it later. I tried doing it before and it worked, and for some reason now it's not working. So I'm going to jump back up to page 81 in your book. All right, time for action. Tweaking the design details, rather. All right, so I'm going to try to do the stuff that they show right here. We're going to see how that works. So, again, I'm on page 81 in the book. They tell you to go to Extensions, Template Manager, and I'm doing that. And click on the Templates menu on the left-hand side. Kind of done this already. And click the ProStar Detail and Files to edit the copied template. Alright, it says the Template Manager screen comes up, and what we want to find here is the template.css file. So I'm going to try to look under CSS. Here's template CSS. And there it is. Alright, so it says add the code to the beginning of the screen here. So again, I'm just following the steps. .site description. So they line up. So I've just added the stuff that you see on step 2 on page 81. Alright. Save and close. Try to go back to my site and see if it's done anything here. I'll move that over, but it didn't do much with this. Again, we're getting there. Alright. So they talk about style sheets on page 82 and the top of page 83. I'm not going to go over those because we've already had those in other classes. So let me take a couple of the things I've got open here and close them. There we go. And jump back to the book. So I'm on page 83 in your book. Step 2, adding content. Creating a foundation list. Making categories. It says if you have experience with static websites, you probably have added new pages in the site in the past in 2 steps. You start by making a new HTML document, then you add a link to the page. Alright, but in Joomla, as mentioned there on the top of the next page, it goes a little bit different. Before you make new pages, you have to create containers for these. These containers are called categories. You can have as many categories as you want. You can nest categories, and categories will hold the articles that we end up putting in. So again, I'm on the middle of page 84 in your book. So they want us here to navigate the content category manager and add a new article. So we're going to do all that stuff that you see on pages 84 and 85 right now. Okay? That doesn't look good, does it? I think it's okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we want to go back into our administrator side, go to content, go to Content Category Manager, and click on the New button. The Content Category Manager Add a New Article screen opens. In the title, they tell you to type in News. And it says, don't worry about all the other fields, especially the alias. As it says, it's going to automatically be generated for you anyway. All right. So, it says now click on Save and Close. All right, it says a message is displayed telling you that the category has been successfully saved and you're taken to the Category Manager screen. It says you'll see, apart from the other stuff that we had in there, and I don't know why all that stuff is still in there. So let's try to remove it again. Now it looks like uncategorized is gone, but everything else is still there. So I kind of did it backwards from the way that it was supposed to be. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to remove. That's okay. Alright, so I've got all the categories chosen, and I'm going to, they're all always chosen. Alright. Oh, I guess that's the trash, so I'm going to empty the trash. How's that? Alright, let me try again. So I'll come back. That's what I wanted to see. Okay. So I want to navigate to Content, Article Manager. Okay, and that looks a little bit better. And under Categories, it says I have none, so maybe I removed the news, so let's just try to recreate it. No big thing. Go back to Content, Category Manager. I'm going to click on the New button. I'm going to choose News here. Category already exists. Okay, so it was there already. So we cancel. There's my uncategorized, and there's my new. Okay. Alright, so it says now it's time to come in here and create an article. So the screen that you see right here is the same screen that you see in the book on page 85. That screen looks just like that screen. Okay? So it says navigate to Content, Article Manager, and go to Add New Article. says in the title box we are supposed to put in bad photography exhibition. In the category drop-down box over here, select News. In the editor that appears, write the article. They just went and got some code from lipsum.com, so it looks like they got 3 paragraphs, so I'm going to grab those right now. So I want 3 paragraphs generated for me, and there's my 3 paragraphs. Alright. Says to divide the article into an intro text and main text, position it at the beginning of the line below the first paragraph. So right there. The line below the first paragraph. Click on the Read More button on the bottom of the editor screen. And you can see it puts a dashed red line in there. And that separates the main text from, or the intro text from all the rest of the text. Finally, it says we need to add an image to the article. I'm on page 86. Below the article editor screen, you'll notice that there is an image and files. I'm going to reposition that up here first. So we'll see that there is below the article editor screen, you'll notice there is an images and links section. This feature allows you to add an image which Joomla will show at the beginning of the article text and or the article intro text. In this case, we want to add images to the intro of the article. To do this, click Select in the Intro Image field. Alright, I believe I've done this backwards, so let me go back up to here. There's images and links. It's above it, not below it. Alright, so I want to click here, so that's currently what's highlighted, images and links. Alright. It says a pop-up screen with thumbnails available in Joomla's default editor appears. Click on the icon for the sample data folder. And we want to find parks and landscape. It says select one of the available images by clicking on its thumbnail. I'm going to choose the one that they have in here, and I can't tell offhand which one that is. So. I think it's that one right there. It says although the image will be shown on the front end, it isn't available on the back end. We're going to have to basically do that. So start upload. Okay, so that's there. Unable to upload file. There you see it. Alright, although the image will be shown on the front end, it isn't visible on the back end article text. To check whether you've chosen the desired image, you can put your mouse over the eye, which is what I did here on page 86. Repeat the previous 2 steps to add a full article image. Again, select an image, in this case preferably a bigger one, and make sure that the image float is set to the left, which it should be, I believe, by default anyway. Alright. This is what the Article Manager Add New Article screen is going to look like when we get done. So if we look on here, we've got left, there's our image sample, and we want to do this one. So the same kind of thing here. We want to come in, sample data, parks, landscape, and we want the bigger version of this one, which is right here. All right, so insert. So that's our bigger version. All right, and again, we want that to say left. So I believe mine looks the way that it does in the book here on page 87. So it says click on Save and Close. All right, you're taken to the Article Manager screen where the stuff should be shown, hopefully. So select a category, news. It's going to be interesting anyway. It says no matching results, but we're going to see. All right, it says the new article is ready, but if you click the View Site now, you might be disappointed because it doesn't look any different than it did before. All right, so there's no sign of the new article. That's because you have to take one last step and add a menu link. All right, so again, jumping back into our book. On the bottom of page 88, the author is saying, so kind of what happened here? You've created a full-blown article consisting of text and images. To add the images, we use the images and links. To enable Joomla to separately display the intro text, all right, we use the read more, but now we've got to go through here and we have to add the menu link. They tell you on page 89, if you're so inclined, that you can go and add more things in here. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to jump down to the bottom of page 89. Right here. All right. So, bottom of page 89, it says navigate to menus, main menu. And we want to come through here and we want to choose add new menu item. All right. So menus, main menu, new menu item. All right. It says the menu manager new menu item appears. It says next to the menu item type, click the select and select the art from here. The menu type box, it says click here, and what we want to choose is we want to select articles. Under articles, we want the category blog. All right, it says this menu link type tells Joomla to display a page containing intro text and read more. It says you'll see what it looks like in a minute. All right. So there's our type. In the choose a category, we want it to go into news. All right. In the menu title field, they want us to put in news also. And then click on save. All right. Let's see if everything worked. If it did, when we go back here, we should now have a thing here that says news. And when we click on it, there we have that. There's our read more. We click on that, we get the entire article. So far it looks pretty good. So I've done all the steps that are shown on pages 90, 91, and now I'm jumping over to page 92 in your text. Let's see. It says now that's the all-important power of menus. As it says, this illustrates the power of Joomla menu links. All right, just by adding a menu link, you make the content accessible in several ways. All right, whatever you add to the category setup, no new menu links are needed. Now, every time we add something and we choose a category of news, it'll put stuff in there for us. That's what we want to do. All right, so I'm on page 92, near the bottom of the page. And it tells us here on page 92, near the bottom, it says, for the example site, you'll need to add a few more categories and articles. Your client wants to publish content on 2 specific subjects, club meetings and articles. This calls for 2 new categories. You can add these using the same steps you use to create the news category. First, add one more category called club meetings, save and new. All right, but if you do a save and new as opposed to a save and close, it'll keep you open, and then we can add a second category called art lectures and then do a save and close. I'm going to do that, and ideally when we get done, it's going to look like you see right here. when we move over to that page. All right, so let's take a look at it. All right, so again, I want to go back here. I want to go back here into my admin page. All right. So we want to go into Content, Category Manager, and New, and we want to add a new category. All right. Now, if we wanted that category, we don't, but if we wanted that category to go under News, we could click there. We don't want it to go under News. We want it to be an upper level, so we'll keep the No Parent. But the title for this category, the first one we're supposed to create is Club Meetings. And then they tell us to do a Save in New. And they want us to create another one. All right, and we want that one to be called Art Lectures. And then we can do a Save and Close. Now if we look at categories, now what you see here is we've got Uncategorized, News, Club Meetings, and Art Lectures. All right, so the picture that you see here is the same one that you see if I jump back to the book and look at the bottom of page 92. So far everything looks like it's going pretty well. Now it tells you to add a few dummy articles. So it says to repeat this, take a look at the stuff that you just did. All right, a quick way to add new dummy articles, and I'm going to try doing that right now. So I'm on page 93. It says a quick way to add new dummy articles is using the Save as Copy button in the Article Manager Edit Article screen. So I'm going to try doing that in just a second. But ideally when we get done, what we're going to have here is the stuff that you see right here. So under Art Lectures, we will have 1, 2, 3. And under Club Meetings, we will have 1, 2, 3. All right, so I'm going to attempt to do that using the steps that they're going to show in the book right here. All right, so I want to go to Article Manager, all right, Content, Article Manager. And as they say right here, we want to go to the Edit Article screen. Selection first. Edit screen. By using the Save as Copy button in the Article Manager Edit screen. Showing me any results right there. And it might be because I haven't published it, it might be a lot of different things. But the point is, I'm just going to jump through the steps that we did before. Alright, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it like this anyway. And actually, you know what? Because I'm running short on time, class starts in less than a half an hour, so I'm going to go back and do that on my own, but I'm going to have to go back and create the menu links for that. All right. So in other words, I'm going to have to go back to Menus, Menu Manager. All right. And I'm not sure why it's showing me what it's showing me here. I think it's because I've got trashed and I don't want trashed. There we go. But it keeps jumping back and I'm not sure why. I want a new menu. I want the menu type to be exactly like I did it before. So articles, category blog, and I want it to be under the main menu. And I want the first one. What do I want? I want club meetings and art lectures. So club meetings. I'm going to save and new. And I'm going to say art meetings. And I'm going to say save and close. Now I'm going to jump back to the site and hopefully now I have, there's my club meetings and my art meetings. Alright, So they were supposed to be club meetings, and the other one's supposed to be art lectures. So let me jump back in again, where I've got art meetings. All right, I want that to be art lectures. Save and close. Getting an X there, it says component publish. Okay, again, I'll worry about that a little bit later. So now, club meetings and art lectures. I'll have to add those articles in just a couple minutes. All right, but again, if I don't start kicking it in gear a little bit, there is no way that I'm going to finish before this. So I'm on page 97, and it tells us to create a mission statement. So they want us to navigate again to content, article manager, and click on new. In the title box, we want to enter a mission statement. In the category drop-down, we want to make sure that what's selected is uncategorized, and we want to add the mission statement here. All right, I'm just going to stop it right here, and I'll have to finish the stuff on my own and get it put out here as soon as I possibly can. All right, this class is going to start soon.